Hello everyone. For today's video, I'll be taking a look at this 1080p wristband camera. Inside the box you get the camera, a manual, and a micro USB charging cable. This camera tries to emulate the look of a basic smartwatch or fitness band, so the design is very simple. Up front is the camera lens, which is pretty noticeable because of how it's sunken into the camera frame. I used to think this design was stupid until I got my hands on this weird cheap watch, which has a similar looking button design. On the side we have two buttons. This is K1, which is the closest to the edge, and K2, which is in the center. On this side we have the indicator light and the microphone slot. Now this uses a pretty standard watch band, I don't think I need to explain that. And on the bottom you have your micro SD card slot and your USB charging. Using this camera is very simple. To turn on the camera, hold K1. The camera will vibrate and both lights will turn on. This signifies that you are in standby mode. In standby mode, if you hit K1 once, it will vibrate and flash 3 times. This means that you are recording. Press K1 again to stop. Pressing K2 in standby mode will have the red light be on. This means that it is taking a photo, and when it is done, it will go back to red and blue. Holding K2 will flash blue 3 times, and that means you are recording audio. Pressing K2 again will stop, and holding K1 will turn off the camera. If the camera freezes or isn't responsive, holding both buttons will force a shut-off. This camera takes around 1.5 hours to charge, and it only lasts for around 30 minutes of video or around 40 minutes of audio. To edit the date and time, open the time.txt file on the root of the SD card. Having a Y or N at the end will control whether the timestamp is on or off. With all the tutorial stuff out of the way, here is a look at some video. On first impression, this video looks decent. Colors are pretty accurate, and the quality is not that bad. However, this camera does have multiple issues. There's a lot of noise, both auditory and visually. The visual noise is easiest to notice when looking at the sky or when looking in a dark area. This auditory noise is constant, which suggests that it might be a bad microphone connection. This camera also has a constant blurring issue. No matter how much I try wiping the lens, it always ends up looking smudged. Notice how the edge between the roof and the sky is not well defined at all. Any bright cars that are going by have this weird glowing effect. Also, there's no video stabilization on this camera. Since the lens is sunken into the body, this causes even more problems. Notice how the corners are darker than the rest of the frame, and when the camera looks at a direct source of light, we get a nice ring effect. Dynamic range isn't that great, only one side or the other will be properly exposed. Low light performance is pretty bad, this camera basically can't see anything, and here's a photo from my phone as a reference. So this is what the camera sounds like. There's not much to talk about, it's like a subpar laptop microphone. So the video quality is pretty okay overall, but it's pretty difficult to record with this camera naturally. For best video results, I found myself holding up my wrist and moving it around like a madman. And yes, I did get stares in public. You can also record with your hands in your pockets, but that ends up with a weird 45-degree vertical video. Having your phone out looks pretty natural, but the video ends up rotated 45 degrees from where you're facing. Crossing your arms gets the best video footage, but it also looks like you're angry all the time. I'm not sure if this needs to be said, but if you do end up buying a product like this, please use this in accordance with their local laws. Unfortunately, I just don't understand why someone would use this product over something like a smartphone, which probably has better video and audio quality. For two of these positions, you can just use your smartphone for a similar result. For most Android devices, double-clicking the power button will open up the camera, where you can press the volume button to take a photo. Holding your phone to the side is pretty similar to having your hand in your pocket. Crossing your arms also works with your phone. Overall, it's not a terrible product, but I can't fully recommend it either. I've gone over why I don't think the video quality is that great, the trade-off between being covert and getting good images, and why using a smartphone is probably better than this. I've also had the camera freeze a couple times while trying to record, and it's really annoying because there's nothing you can do other than reset the SD card. On a more positive note, I do think the design is fantastic, and the video quality is perfectly serviceable. Having vibration cues makes this camera easy to use without constantly looking at it. So that's it for now. You can leave any questions or comments below, and I hope you have a great day.